Hello and welcome back to my channel. This past year I embarked on a no makeup buy for the entire year. It was partially accidental. I initially was just trying to do it for a couple months, but I ended up doing it for a full year, and I've done a few videos about this, so you can check those out if you'd like. But in this video I'm going to be talking about the things that I learned about myself by doing a makeup no buy, and specifically the things I learned about myself regarding my makeup habits. So the first thing that I learned about myself, and honestly I should have known this before, but it is that I am a makeup hoarder. I think that I started to realize that I was like this in other aspects of my life because of this no buy, but with makeup it was especially bad. I amassed a huge makeup collection. There's more makeup than anyone could possibly expect to use. And part of that was because of my own purchases and what I was buying, but a lot of the makeup that I received, I didn't purchase it myself. It was given to me as a gift, and things that my mom got for me or my friends, you know. So a lot of it I didn't intend to bring into my collection in the first place. And I think this in itself is a big problem, not just in makeup, but in gift giving in general, receiving things and giving things that the person doesn't actually want, because you end up with all of this stuff that you didn't want, and so you're far less likely to actually end up using it. And this was the case with makeup. I still have so much makeup that I have never opened and someone just purchased for me. In all likelihood it's not good anymore, but I never got rid of it. And there's so many things that I could have done to mitigate these circumstances. I could have said, please buy me no more makeup. I could have regifted some items or given it away to friends if I thought that I wasn't going to get any use of it. I could have given them to consignment shops, donated them, used apps like Buns or Facebook Marketplace. There's so many options for what I could have done with my makeup. Unfortunately, I just never did that. And I was a hoarder. I just wanted to amass the largest collection possible, regardless of if I actually ended up using that makeup or not. This was an extremely important lesson for me to learn, because it really made me think critically about how I was being a consumer and how I was treating items outside of makeup, so books and clothing. And I came to the realization that I was having the same issue with all of my stuff and not just makeup, that I had this issue of not wanting to give something up regardless of if it had a use in my life or not. Most of the time, these things were just taking up space, and it was a real waste to hold on to these makeup items when someone else could have gotten use out of them. Number two lesson that I learned about makeup, not specifically about myself, makeup does actually expire. This might sound a little bit ludicrous, but I honestly did not think that makeup expired. And I went on using makeup forever. Up until this year, I had never gotten rid of a makeup product because it had gone bad. I just didn't think that makeup ever went bad. I had a couple of mascaras that sort of started to smell funny, a little bit off. I went right on using them, and I thought that the smell was just because I'd been using it for such a long time and not because the mascara had actually gone bad. Now, I've seen this year many makeup products have gone bad, and this is because I've gone back through my collection and tried to get rid of stuff. And so many of the items that I've come across they're cracked, or there's no more liquid in them, they don't work properly, they smell funny, all these sorts of issues. I'll try to see if I can go back through my collection and insert some clips of makeup gone bad. But this is a real issue that doesn't just happen in mascara, it happens in foundation. Face products especially, that's really bad because this stuff is going on your face every day. This year I really started to understand that makeup does go bad, and this just leads right back to why you should get rid of makeup in the first place, because it's going to go bad. You're not going to be able to use it for the rest of your life. And the reason that I didn't believe that makeup could expire was because I was a hoarder. If something had gone bad, I just didn't want to believe it because I didn't want to throw it out or get rid of it. Another realization that I've come to is that less is more. It is actually far more valuable to have a small but curated makeup collection than it is to have a vast collection. You don't know what you have, you don't know what's still good or what even looks good on you. It is actually far better to have fewer makeup items. And this is because it means that you have products that you love. These are things that you will actually use every day, and they won't just be taking up space. To me, minimalism is so much more valuable because it means that I'm surrounded by things that I love, things that make me happy and I don't feel like everything is just cluttered. I really believe that less is more, and this is why minimalism plays a really big role in my makeup no buy. Another thing that I learned this year is more of a concept than a physical tangible lesson, but that is conscious consumerism and critical consumerism. This may seem a little bit lofty, but before I never really thought about my makeup beyond its function in my life. All makeup that I buy comes from somewhere. It is made of products, someone makes it, and it goes somewhere after, whether that's to another person or to the garbage or whatnot. And I never really thought about the whole lifeline of my makeup. I just thought about the part when I owned it. And now I really think more about the entire process. I think there's a term for this, but I can't, like the manufacturing cycle or something like that. Now I really think more about that, and this is partially because I've done more research on it. And so this is why minimalism has played such a big role in my makeup no buy this year. And I would really encourage you to do more research on where your makeup comes from and where it goes after you've finished with it, because there's a lot of resources out there and it's worth considering. And sort of related to this, another thing that I learned from my makeup no buy is how the industry is shifting. When I first started watching YouTube in high school, it was like 2010 I think I started. I was only watching fashion and makeup gurus, and basically what their channels were about were doing hauls, so buying makeup and showing everything that they bought and then doing makeup looks. And I think that things have really taken a turn, like it's done a real 180, and now I see way more content on anti-hauls and doing makeup no buys than I see actual hauls, and this has been a really interesting thing to watch, and it's been reflected in my own life. I used to only be interested in hauls and getting more and more makeup, and now it's also done a complete 180 as I try to not buy makeup and try to get rid of makeup. So it's been really interesting to see how the industry has changed. I've talked a bit about Whitney Hedrick as someone who does a lot of talks about consumerism and makeup marketing, how to do a makeup no buy, these sorts of things, and I've been very much inspired by her. And I think there's been all these other YouTubers who also talk about similar topics, and I think it's really worth discussing in the makeup industry right now, and I'm really happy to see these changes being made. And lastly, another thing that I've learned from my makeup no buy, which seems maybe pretty obvious, but somehow I just never understood how long it takes to finish makeup products. So I used to really scrimp with how little makeup I used. I remember when I got my first naked palette, this was like the most expensive makeup item I'd ever purchased. It's like $70, somewhere around there, from Sephora. I think I got it in my early undergrad days, so I was probably about 18. This was the most I'd spent on makeup. I was really excited about it, and I would really use as little as I possibly could in order to make the palette go that much longer and last. And now I think about that and it's ludicrous because I used that palette for so many years and I never even close to hit pan because I was being so careful with how much makeup I used. And it was the same thing with skincare products, with foundation. I would always use the smallest amount possible because I was so afraid that I would finish these products really quickly, and I always had backups of them, so I don't know why I was so afraid of finishing them. And if I had stayed on that route, I never would have finished anything. It's really funny to see how I've changed from not wanting to finish any makeup products to wanting to finish things as quickly as possible, because even at the rate that I'm using them, makeup products still take like months or a year to finish, and chances are I'm not going to finish every single makeup product by the end of its natural lifespan. Like, here's an example. I used to only put foundation on my forehead, my nose, and my chin, and never do it on this part of my face because I thought that was just wasting foundation. I didn't need to put it there, which is ludicrous because this makeup is going to expire anyway, so I might as well use it while it's still good. Now I definitely use the makeup amount that I should be using. I put foundation all over my face, that kind of thing. And I think this makes much more sense. So that was it for the 5 things that I've learned from not buying makeup this year. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe down below if you did. I'm loving making videos about doing makeup no buys and how the industry has changed, how to embark on your first no buy, these sorts of things. So I hope you're enjoying these videos. Please leave me suggestions down below because there's really only so many video ideas I can think of when it comes to doing makeup no buy. But thanks so much for watching, and I will speak to you soon. Bye. Sorry guys. It is bright out. I hope you can see me fine. I'm gonna be blind by the light.